Welcome to Dog Facts Funny. Before we begin, take a moment to notice where your dog is right now. Not what they're doing, just how they're existing in the space around you. Dogs spend their entire lives adjusting themselves to our world, quietly reshaping their needs around our routines. Most dogs aren't missing love. They're missing understanding. Not the big things, food, walks, shelter, but the small daily moments that tell them they're seen, respected, and emotionally safe. These moments rarely look important, which is why they're so easy to overlook. Dogs don't protest when something is missing. They adapt. They wait. They learn patterns and expectations and quietly fit themselves into whatever space we leave for them. Over time, that adaptation becomes their normal. And while it doesn't look like suffering, it does shape their stress levels, confidence, and emotional health. Today isn't about doing more. It's about doing things differently. Small, intentional shifts that meet dogs where they already are, mentally, emotionally, instinctively. The pause they're waiting for. Dogs experience the world at a faster emotional tempo than humans. Sounds, movements, and changes register instantly. But what calms their nervous system isn't stimulation, it's stillness. One of the most overlooked daily needs is quiet acknowledgement. Not commands, not praise, just a few seconds of soft attention with no expectation attached. When a dog meets your gaze calmly, without pressure, their stress response begins to settle. This isn't staring. It's presence, a brief pause where nothing is being asked of them. In those moments, dogs aren't performing. They're simply existing with you. And that sense of safety resets their emotional baseline more than we realize. The parts of their body they can't reach. Most dogs are touched constantly, yet still carry physical tension. That's because we tend to focus on familiar areas, head, back, belly, while ignoring places that quietly hold stress. Areas like the chest, shoulders, and between the toes absorb daily tension from movement, anxiety, and posture. Dogs can't fully relieve these spots on their own. Over time, that tension affects how they walk, rest, and even behave. Gentle, unhurried contact in these overlooked areas does more than relax muscles. It signals safety to the nervous system. Dogs who receive this kind of touch often move with more confidence and ease, not because they're trained, but because their bodies feel supported. The need to choose something. In most homes, dogs make very few real choices. We decide when they eat, walk, rest, and interact. While structure is important, a life with no agency quietly wears on a dog's emotional resilience. Allowing a dog to choose, even briefly, changes how their brain processes the world. Choice builds confidence. It teaches them that their actions matter, that they're participants, not passengers. This doesn't mean ignoring boundaries. It means offering low-stakes options and honoring the answer without disappointment. Over time, dogs who are trusted with small choices become more secure, adaptable, and bonded. Mental work that doesn't look like training. A tired dog isn't always a fulfilled dog. Physical exercise helps, but mental engagement shapes emotional stability. Dogs evolve to solve problems, track scents, and make decisions, not just follow routines. Simple searching activities activate parts of the brain linked to memory, regulation, and satisfaction. These moments of focused thinking slow their internal pace and create a sense of purpose. Mental engagement doesn't need to be complex or time-consuming. What matters is that the dog is allowed to think, explore, and succeed on their own terms. Meeting their energy before changing it. When a dog's energy doesn't match the moment, our instinct is often to correct it immediately. But dogs transition best when they feel understood first. Before calming a dog down, briefly acknowledge their state. Before energizing a resting dog, gently meet their stillness. This emotional matching tells the dog their feelings aren't wrong. They're simply part of the process. Dogs who experience this kind of emotional guidance become more flexible. They learn that change doesn't mean danger. It means movement together. Small changes that build adaptability. Dogs thrive on routine, but emotional strength comes from adaptability. A life that never changes leaves dogs fragile when it inevitably does. Tiny variations, a slightly different walking route, a small timing shift, gently exercise a dog's ability to adjust. These changes don't create stress when they're predictable and safe. Over time, dogs who experience mild, structured variety respond better to real disruptions. They don't panic, they adapt, because they've practiced. Feeling needed. Dogs don't just want affection, they want relevance, a sense that they contribute, that their presence matters beyond companionship. Giving a dog a consistent responsibility, something simple but meaningful, activates a deep emotional need. When dogs feel useful, their confidence grows. Their behavior becomes more settled, more focused. The task itself matters less than your sincerity. Dogs can sense whether their role is real or performative. When it's genuine, it changes how they see themselves. Consent and trust. Affection builds trust only when it's mutual. Dogs often tolerate touch out of politeness, not desire. Over time, that tolerance can become quiet stress. Allowing dogs to opt into contact teaches them that their boundaries matter. When touch is chosen rather than assumed, trust deepens quickly. Communication becomes clearer. Anxiety softens. Dogs who feel respected don't withdraw, they lean in more. None of these needs are dramatic. That's why they're easy to miss. They don't show up as obvious problems. They show up as adaptations, quieter behavior, less initiative, subtle tension. The adaptation skill is a natural gift. In this way, many animal and dogs may survive in wildlife. The adaptation capacity stems from deep understanding. Dogs don't ask for better days. They adjust to the ones they're given. And that adaptability, while remarkable, can hide what they truly need. Dogs are sophisticated, emotional, and multi-dimensional creatures. When we notice the small things, presence, choice, purpose, consent, we stop asking dogs to fit into our lives and start meeting them halfway. That's where trust deepens. That's where dogs don't just behave better, they feel better. Feeling is window of the dogs. Dogs give us their attention without conditions. They wait, adapt, and stay close, even when we don't fully understand what they need in return. When we slow down enough to notice the small moments, a pause, a choice, a quiet request for space, we begin to see our dogs not just as companions, but as emotional beings navigating a human-shaped world. If this episode made you think differently about your dog, you're not alone. These quiet needs are easy to miss, and learning them is part of the bond we build over time. If you'd like to explore more of what dogs feel and why they behave the way they do, consider staying with us. Subscribe to Dog Facts Funny and join us as we continue uncovering the small, meaningful details that help our dogs feel safe, understood, and truly at home.